Okay, we're here at 433 East Cypress Avenue in the city of Glendale or Burbank. I think it's Burbank. And we're here to check the main sewer line. We can't check every single pipe in the house. You'll have your general inspector crawl underneath the building, check whatever physically he can, run all the water everywhere, make sure things are draining correctly. However, we will check the main sewer line from as many places as allows us access today. And the only access we really had luck with today is removing the toilet from the bathroom. There is a 4-inch roof end, however the roof is very steep and we can't get up on this roof. There's also a 2-inch kitchen clean out, which we did try. However, it makes so many sharp turns that we actually got our camera stuck, but we got the camera out. Now, we're running the camera, like I said, we removed the toilet and we're running from the drain from the toilet. And we're all the way at the city connection in the alley. The city sewer is in the rear of the property. Like I said, we're here to inspect the main sewer line. This inspection is based on my opinion. Today is April 18, 2024. Let's go ahead and bring the camera back. Now, there was a lot of grease and sludge in the cast iron, so our lens is a little smudgy, so we're going to go nice and slow. But you can see the city sewer floating by right there at the bottom, at the right side of your screen. There's the city sewer. This is your connection to the city. We have a 6-inch clay pipe here. And so far it looks like it's pretty clean. That's just a little bit of toilet paper. What we look for are major breaks, major roots, major offsets. So far the 6-inch connection lateral from the city connection coming back towards the property looks like it's in pretty fair to good condition. Okay, right here we're transitioning now to a 4-inch clay pipe. Now the 4-inch clay pipe so far also looks like it's in pretty fair to good, well, it's actually fair condition. You can see there's a slight little stress crack there. However, that's very normal and typical to see in a clay pipe. It's normal to see roots, it's normal to see cracks, minor cracks obviously, minor roots, minor offsets. This is all normal. So far this clay pipe's in pretty fair functioning condition, coming back from the back property line towards the house here. Now, let's keep coming back. All clay pipe here. Now initially going in, the line was blocked underneath the house and we cleared it with the camera. There's a lot of buildup, that's why our lens is a little smudged. But so far this is all in pretty fair condition here. We don't see any issues in the clay pipe so far. What we'll do is once we pull the camera out, we'll clean up the lens and we'll try to go back in. But you can see this so far, it looks like it's in pretty fair condition, everything. We don't see any issues. Let me just pause the recording. I'm going to try to run a little water to see if we can clear up the lens a little. Okay, so we cleaned up the lens. We had to pull the camera out. Let's continue coming back. This is at the property line. So we know the 6-inch lateral is in pretty good condition in the alley. Now this is the 4-inch pipe on the property. I'm just going to have a look at it as we come back. So now the lens is nice and clean. So far it all looks like it's in pretty good to fair condition. This is an original clay pipe. Obviously it's an old clay pipe, but functioning and so far in pretty fair to good condition. But remember, that was this minor little crack. And those cracks, those are stress cracks. This is very common, especially at a hub. It's a very minor crack, hardly even mentioned. That's a stress crack. And in my opinion, that's not a big deal at all. You'll find that on any clay pipe in the city. That's what happens, especially at the hubs. There's no roots coming through that little crack, and that's probably just a surface crack. Let's continue coming back here. Like I said, there is the cast iron pipe underneath the building that we'll get to. Another little slight stress crack. In my opinion, not a big deal. There's no roots coming through. There's no major damage to that clay pipe. So far, everything looks pretty okay here. Have a look at this section coming back. Okay, right over here we do have an issue. Looks like the pipe's sinking down a little bit because you can see there's water sitting in it. So we're just going to go ahead and locate this section. We're going to pause the recording. Okay, we located that in the backyard, approximately about 4.5 feet deep. And you can see this section here, the clay pipe is actually sinking down a little bit because you can see there's also a little bit of roots up ahead. So that section is sinking down a little bit, and maybe it's roots pushing it down. And we did locate that. We'll give you an estimate to repair that. Now coming back, let's take a look at the rest of the clay coming back towards the house. So a slight little sinking in that section. Now, Joanne mentioned we are running a little camera because it's the only camera we can get through the toilet line, and it does sit very low off the ground. So that could be a very minor amount of water. However, there is a little section of water standing there in that section of the pipe. Let's continue coming back. So far, the clay pipe, I mean, overall, besides that little section that has water standing in it, it's in pretty fair condition. Very minor little stress cracks, which is very normal in the clay. We don't see any major issues so far. Everything looks pretty okay. You see, you do have some grease and sludge buildup here on the sides of the pipe. Now, we get some water running here. You see, even a small amount of water can make it look like there's water standing. So, this overall coming back looks pretty good to fair condition. Now, right here is where it comes underneath the house. You can see there's roots coming through this section of the pipe. The cast iron pipe is very old underneath the house, and we're going to recommend that all to be replaced to the outside. This is the cast iron pipe, and this pipe is in very poor condition. Initially, when we went in, there was a blockage when we cleared it with the camera. But you can see this pipe is very old. This is the original cast iron pipe. Cast iron pipe can last anywhere from 60 to 120 years. This property is pretty old. It's pretty much coming at the end of its life. We highly recommend this pipe to be replaced. You can see there's a little bit of roots there even coming through. More roots there. Okay, and coming up the toilet line. Here we are in the bathroom. So the 6-inch lateral is in pretty good to fair condition in the alley. Piping, a 4-inch clay pipe on the property. Has a slight little belly in the yard. Overall, pretty fair functioning condition. Cast iron pipe underneath the house, very poor condition. Recommend replace that. We're going to go ahead and stop the recording here.